Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York. New York Times World News. April 13th. 5 o'clock America, New York. How nature becomes a casualty of war. Research on past conflicts suggests that the war in Ukraine could have a profound environmental impact. A Ukrainian soldier moving through a forested area near Irpin last month. New York Times World News.
April 13th. 5 o'clock America, New York. War in Ukraine disrupts education of millions of children. The country's teachers are doing their best to provide lessons for the millions of school-age children whose education has been interrupted. Children learning in a bunker south of Kyiv, Ukraine, in March. Mirror World News.
April 13th. 4:35 America, New York. British man found dead on a waste tip in Spain after going missing for 3 weeks. We'll be bringing you the very latest updates, pictures and video on this breaking news story.
RT World News.
April 13th. 4:34 America, New York. World's richest man sued over Twitter share declaration. A Twitter investor claims Elon Musk has gained millions of dollars by deflating Twitter share prices through delayed disclosure.
Washington Post World.
April 13th. 3:51 America, New York. Israeli forces kill Palestinian as West Bank raids continue. The Palestinian Health Ministry says Israeli forces have shot and killed a Palestinian man in the occupied West Bank.
Fox World News.
April 13th. 3:35 America, New York. Pro-Putin fugitive politician captured in special operation, Ukraine says. A pro-Putin Ukrainian fugitive who escaped while being held in home confinement in Kyiv on allegations of treason was recaptured by Ukraine's SBU security service, Ukrainian officials said Tuesday.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
April 13th. 3:20 America, New York. Murder probe launched after second man found dead in Sligo with extensive injuries. Police have launched a murder investigation after a second man was found dead with significant injuries in the Irish town of Sligo this week. Sligo.
Washington Post World.
April 13th. 3 o'clock America, New York. Lengthening war in Ukraine creates major problems for global economy. Worries spread over growing economic and financial risks as conflict could last for years.
Washington Post World.
April 13th. 2 o'clock America, New York. Ukrainian fighter pilots in old jets take on better-equipped Russians. Pilots say they are just targets in Soviet-era MiG-29s and want allies to send newer planes.
BBC News World.
April 13th. 0:48 America, New York. U.S. cryptocurrency expert jailed for helping North Korea evade sanctions. Virgil Griffith was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in prison by a court in New York.
Time. April 13th. 0:28 America, New York. Price spikes in Asia mean the whole world is now dealing with inflation. The world is now facing a synchronized inflation outbreak as food and energy prices surge in Asia, a shift from just a few months ago when the region appeared to avoid the price fever gripping the U.S.
RT World News.
April 13th. 0:19 America, New York. Crypto expert jailed for undermining U.S. sanctions. An American tech developer was hit with a lengthy prison term after conspiring to provide services to North Korea.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
April 13th. 0:19 America, New York. New Zealand is reopening to the world, if you can manage to find a flight there. After closing its international borders for 2 years, New Zealand is reopening to the world, if you can manage to find a flight there. New Zealand borders reopen to Australian travellers.
https://globalnews.ca/feed/.
April 13th. 0:13 America, New York. Johnny Gaudreau hits 100 points as Calgary Flames come back to win 5-3 over Seattle Kraken. Johnny Gaudreau had 2 assists and set a career high with 101 points. Johnny Gaudreau.